There we are. We are live and up and running once again. Long time no see, everybody. Only 2 days, of course, but continuing our Tuesday night tradition here with the Winter Truck Series. NNSCRA bringing you only 4 more races here before the season concludes. We are in the second race of the chase here. Familiar track, though, Homestead-Miami Speedway. We're going to be bringing a good bit of action, I think. Going to be a lot of strategy involved in this one. Very different overall from what we saw just 2 nights ago from this very racetrack. We got CTS physics, of course, the trucks, and much tighter and maybe a little more multi-groove than what we saw then. So, going to be a little something different to behold here, as these guys are in the tail end of group qualifying. And yeet to you as well, good sir. Zach Rogers back up with me once again. Thank you as always.
Yeah, man, happy to be here. We're in for a good show. Much like Sunday's race, different kind of homestead, different physics type, different style of racing vehicle. It's going to be fun. 1 hour racing here at Homestead, and if it's anything like Ace Speedway was last week, it's going to be a banger.
Oh, it's going to be banging for sure. We saw 2 pretty wild finishes on Sunday for the Pro Series, and now we've got everyone going for the championship here, pretty much set to do battle in this thing. While we're at the tail end of qualifying here, I'll get the points. Just a refresher for everybody. Going into this thing, Jack Merkel is currently the championship leader by only 3 ahead of Nick Gunther, but of course with the point system being the way that is 3 positions on the racetrack. Then we got Josh Mercurio, who is 5 back, Dunn LaPrade 8 back, and Cody Lamas 9 back. And of course the points go from 12 points for first place down to 1 for 12th place. You get most laps led bonus point
tonight. Oh, sorry.
And leading a lap was also a bonus point. So maximum 14 points on really up for grabs. So with that being said, I would say it's probably those top 5, at least from what I can gather, that are going to be having the best chance here for these final 4 races. But as we wrap up qualifying here, Zach, I know you're running a lot of laps out there, and I'd be curious to see kind of what you took away from what we can maybe expect tonight.
Yeah, so we are traveling with a race vehicle now for me when I come to do these broadcasts with you. For most states, was able to run about 40 laps, including a full fuel run. A lot of data to unpack. So you can go by yourself, or rather, if you were in draft, potentially leading the draft line, you can go 31, 32 laps. If you're behind people in draft, I think you should be able to maybe go 33 with the extra off throttle time. It is multi-groove. Fall off is about a second to a second and a half, depending how much you push it. It might be more if you push it harder and you run mostly the bottom. If you run the top will help you save your tires, keeps your temperatures down here. This is an asphalt to concrete to paint line track from bottom line to middle to top. So run the bottom for a little bit, get some heat in your tires, then jump to the top, and that's going to be your best friend to maximize grip while also saving your tires. So 31 to 33 laps, I would say realistically. If you clutch it, we saw with last season's race, you can make it, I believe it's 36, maybe 37 laps, as Nick Gunther did to win. So it should be a fun race, a lot to consider, and yeah, it gets really tight.
Yeah, that much letting off I'm seeing from everybody, and you as well when you were running. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of a lot of pushing, and we may see the wall get clipped here a couple times. But yeah, that's just going to add to the challenge of this thing. Yeah, it's just going to be intriguing, seeing what will happen with these championship contenders and how they're all going to stack up as we head into a true wild card next week. Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Oh my goodness. So you're going to want to get while the getting's good here. Because, yeah, we got 3 very unique tracks coming up here after this. Taking a look, though, at the qualifying results as these guys are just running out their happy hour. Dunlap is going to be starting from the front position in the number 74. Of course, definitely someone that I would not count out here for the championship. Cody Lamas will start in second place. Maybe a bit of a dark horse, but can certainly get the job done on these tracks in the 48. Championship leader Jack Merkel in third, and Ulysses Sandoval will be P4. Josh Mercurio and Emmanuel Hartnett. Anthony Mercurio. Oh my gosh, I did it. Anthony McCurry and Allison Rodrigo. And then Seth Cole, Blake Warren, Matt McIntyre all took lap times. From what I can tell, I believe Nick Gunther may have been the only one that did not. But that's kind of been the name of the game for him this season. He has not been qualifying. And he just finds his way up there and makes it happen. So pit road speed 45 miles per hour. They will be able to enter off of turn 4, but they must use the access road coming off for between 1 and 2. So pretty much exactly the same to what we saw on Sunday. But yeah, I think we're gonna have some good fun. This is the same version, just slightly modified, but this is the same version that, if anyone remembers, the IMRC Championship from, I believe it was season 10, the absolutely amazing, crazy, call it controversial probably, championship finish between Tyler Mallon and Dejan Weeks, where Dejan got the championship with a bump and run in the final corner. But thanks to the fact that, oh my goodness, Blake Warren has just gone to the moon. Uh, but this is the same
Should get
version.
that on screen.
Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? That is not a bad idea. Let me pull that back up here because that was pretty funny. I have not seen height of this nature in quite some time. Let's get you guys a live picture here real quick. This just happened. But yeah, this is too good to pass up on. Runs into Seth Cole and oh my gosh, yeah, he actually levitated for a moment. Physics didn't know what to do. Too much fun here sometimes. Too much fun. Well, Zach, I'll also ask you this. I'm sure that these guys are going to be feeling the pressure and the headaches with how many hits we're seeing them take here at the end of pit road. But I think these guys are going to be feeling. I gotta imagine at least that these guys are feeling the pressure with this race, knowing that next week is probably going to be one of the most unpredictable tracks on the entire schedule.
Yeah, so you want to get a good finish tonight because you don't know what's going to happen next week. Coca-Cola Super Speedway, of course, not a very common super speedway in the online sphere, but it'll be an interesting challenge for these drivers nonetheless. I think the last time I actually ran Coca-Cola Online was back in 2016.
Dang. Yeah, I think I remember running it one singular time, or no, two actually. Yeah, 2 times I have ran Coca-Cola. One time when IMRC was like getting back up and running, and they had it was just a super speedway series at that time, so they ran it. And then I think I ran it once again when Fuel had their super speedway series, kind of late into the tenure of that. So I can't remember how I did in either of those though. But yeah, I just know that that track is crazy. The speeds are high. The banking is even more crazy than that of Talladega. It's just a flat It's just a straight up oval, kind of like this track is. It's a weird one. So these guys, I think, are going to want to just try to make it through that with whatever they can and make up whatever ground they can here tonight. as we are officially getting to the race session here. I'll get you guys some live pictures. I'm also just checking OBS to make sure that we are not getting blocked by another ad over the stinking timer, but thankfully that has not happened.
We are back in happy hour for an unknown reason.
Someone maybe having a...
Merkel has had a problemo.
Uh-oh.
Game crash, it appears.
Yeah, given the stipulations there, I certainly understand the call there. Donlon is about to disqualify himself. Going backwards. Let's see. So yeah, Coca-Cola Super Speedway next week. I am very, very stoked to bring you guys that coverage. And then of course, yeah, I believe... Actually, no, not yet. It's not till February 13th is when we'll have Bomb Squad coverage. Me and Zach got a lot in the works for that, and I think that you guys are going to be in for a real treat there. The stats that we're getting put together for that, and yeah, Zach, with what you've got going on with Tyler and everything that he's been able to provide, and what you're putting together, I think that we're going to have a great showing with that.
Yes, indeed. I've got a lot of good information I've put together. Some of which was easy to put together, some of which required going through some old JTN streams for Daytona. So I'm really happy about the package I've put together so far, working with Tyler Mallon. Just need a few more things from him as we get engines started. And we'll be geared up to provide a very statistic-driven a show. Speaking of Bomb Squad, as these drivers will have a formation lap to undergo, JTN is streaming the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series in 2 days' time. It is at Pocono Raceway. We little boo-boo 2 nights ago. It was listed as Dover, but Dover was 2 weeks ago. It is Pocono, so you can catch out Pocono from Bomb Squad on Thursday night over at JTN. And then on Saturday night is the 8th annual Lynn Boyles Memorial 250 from Daytona. Also on JTN live at 9 o'clock. So check it out over on JTN.
Yeah, man. I will definitely be running that Lynn Boyles race, and really can't wait for that one.
Truck one, right? That's a truck race, I believe.
That is the truck series, I do believe. So we'll be breaking out that number 86. That truck is going to be sponsored by what has quickly become, I would say, my album of 2024, at least. That was Judas Priest's newest album, Invincible Shield.
So. Oh, cool. Speaking of music, I'm planning to run a band scheme part Liquid Death Mountain Water scheme in the Fast Renegade Pro Cup Series on Sundays, probably at the Richmond race. I think it's scheduled in March or April. I'm waiting to figure out which album I'm gonna have Cody put on it, and hopefully it's an album he can actually put on it well. The Sleep Token car from Meloncar a few years ago came out great, so I think he'll be all right.
Is he going Sleep Token again for that one, or?
If they announce an album, we will, sure.
There you go.
They're supposedly supposed to, but we'll see.
You got you could tell you've got a couple of metalheads up here in the booth for everyone watching, so we absolutely love that stuff. Coming to the green flag here, it is 74 and 48. Ready to get this thing going. And into the restart zone, and a great jump for Donlon, but for Homestead-Miami, 1 hour racing has officially commenced.
Just want to say fastest formation lap to Ulysses Sandoval, 1 minute 34.65, a second faster than Allison Rodrigo's formation lap time. I had to.
I love it. These guys getting settled out here. But yeah, with how much these guys have to lift off, they're going to be very careful with all the different lift points. Getting up into the wall, kind of like Lamas and Hart that have already done. But Donlon well out in front there. in the number 74. Everyone
Can
else
already
really junking.
Can already see everyone is mostly running the middle to the top, so they know it can get really tight if you run the bottom. It also can get really loose on corner entry, Andrew. Just if you don't get off the throttle right, you don't hold the wheel straight enough. If you go to the bottom, it just likes to step out that tiny bit. You see Josh Mercurio, though, giving it a shot here. Look how much it slides up off the
Oh
corner, and
no!
that's going to put him and Merkel into the wall
Oh
hard.
man! Very hard. That is not what he needed there, but yeah, he attempted the slider in front of Merkel, and that was not gonna play out. And Merkel keeps it going if he doesn't spin off of Cody Lamas there. That was a little close, but unfortunately, the bad end of that stick goes to the 11, and she's now going to be on the back foot and probably with a lot of damage. That would look like quite a good hit.
Yeah, so he put Merkel in the wall, and then he got loose bouncing off of Merkel, and it just slowly spun out on him down to the inside wall. So a tough break to start here, but it's early. It's a 1 hour long race, and you can see everyone really playing with the lines. As now Merkel will slide up in front of Sandoval. Sandoval went into turn one against the wall, then migrated down to the middle on exit. I don't think that's going to be good for your right front tire, but it's worth a shot to experiment here early.
Man, it's like how Homestead was for quite some time. Just run as close as you humanly can to that wall, and with how close Jack's getting to it, it's like, at least by NR standards, this is really something to see how close you're able to get to that, and yet, yeah, you're able to make a good amount of speed while not abusing the tires that much. So, sure, he's going to be using that to his advantage, but John LaPrat's been doing it from the very get-go. He's running well and truly above that top groove line. And everybody, I think, is following your advice there with saving these tires, including Nick Gunther, who we see already up into P7.
Jack Merkel is right up against the wall, doing his best Kyle Larson impression, but these drivers learned really quickly that it just pushes way too much. Even if they just run the middle line, it just wants to push up to the wall. So being up against the wall is your best friend, as LaPrade gets a little into it, but no harm, no foul. He's good. This track set up with pretty low grip and a tight setup, so they're lifting down to 150, 145 mile an hour mid corner. That will drop below 140 as Merkel is in the wall again into turn one, gets it under him. That's now Sandoval to his inside. And you also got Lamas right there with them.
It's at least one thing that I'm noticing about this track, which is kind of nice actually, is a lot of tracks, if you get into that wall, good luck getting off of it. But so far, a lot of these guys, even as they've clipped it a couple times, it doesn't seem like the wall is quite as gripped up as most tracks are, so they were able to kind of get it off of there pretty well and not lose a whole lot. So credit to track makers for that one, especially knowing that, yeah, with these guys running as high as they are, that is almost an inevitability that you're going to get it at some point. We've all heard of the Darlington stripe. I think tonight we're going to be seeing the Miami stripe.
So right now, these drivers are running around 33.8s to 34.1s up against the wall. That is about 7 tenths to 9 tenths of a second slower than the laps they were running in qualifying together in draft. They were running 33.2s. So you can see that your saving tire up there, they're still running about the same speed mid-corner, but it's the longer way around, so in turn slower lap time. One thing I'm noticing is it is better to have all 4 tires above that seam that separates the middle from the top. Some drivers I've seen straddle it with 2 tires, even just a tiny bit. It is hurting their corner speed at the middle. They're better off just having all 4 tires above the seam through the whole corner.
Man, it's got to make you nervous because there really are so few tracks in NR that really encourage you to get like right up on the wall and ride it that closely, because that's just not something that is accustomed. And anytime that you're going to a track like this, once you get above like the main groove, it's just gonna push and push all the way up to the wall. But here, yeah, you can run really anywhere, and it is the most ideal place to be. And it's just making me nervous just watching these guys. Like it looks like they're hitting the wall, but they're not. That's how close they're getting. And yeah, I'm with you. Anytime that they put those tires down below that seam, they really need to lay it off there in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, Ulysses Sandoval just did it again there in 3 and 4. He had 2 tires just on the seam or below it, and it actually hurt him by about 2 miles an hour behind Jack Merkel. I will say this right now to anyone listening and any of our drivers that might be listening, have their crew chiefs listening. If you want to go to the bottom, just commit to not really the bottom. If you want to go to the middle, I meant. If you want to go to the middle, just commit completely to the middle. Get your left side tires as close to that bottom seam as you can without touching it. Treat that bottom seam like it's the white line. And that is going to be your best friend to maybe get a slide job off here. But you're either going to want to be all the way above the top seam, the second seam in the corner, or you're going to want to be right above the bottom seam as Cody Lamas gets a piece of the wall.
Looks like Nick Gunther may have just heard you. He just gave it a shot, but couldn't quite get the run there. And then yeah, the momentum for Hartnett is going to be able to keep him ahead. Anthony McCurry did just get by Hartnett there for the top 5 position. We are 14 laps in here, so I would imagine probably about halfway, a little less than halfway through this fuel run. Only 8 minutes in so far. And yeah, but these guys run about 33 to 34 seconds per lap. I'm sure these guys will be doing the math very, very quickly to see when they're going to need to pit and how many pit stops they're going to have to make in order to try to get this thing out as far as they can. But man, Dunlop ran right up on the wall. Ooh, Merkel gets it that time, but again, it doesn't lose too much. Even as he clips it, it really doesn't cost him all that much.
Yeah, so Andrew, at this point in the run, the longer you go into the run, you really start to be able to tell who has pushed the right front tire too much and who hasn't. That's really the key for this setup, is how fast can you go without pushing the right front too much. The tires don't wear a lot, but there is a lot of wear loss built into the track I&I. So minimizing how much you wear the right front will determine how much long run speed you have. Even if you're just running the top, you can still burn the right front off. If you're oversteering the wheel, you want to steer as little as you can on the entry, on the exit, all the way through the corner. And, that could save you 0.2 of a second compared to the other driver when you get into the last 10 laps of this run.
And that could be the difference maker as this thing plays out. Dunlop has led every lap so far here as we are approaching 10 minutes in. 18 laps now that we are working on. But Jack Merkel has been hounding him pretty much this whole time. Ulysses Sandoval and Cody Lamas have not let these guys out of their sight one bit. And then you got a bit of a gap back there to McCurry. He's kind of by himself at the moment. And then Hartnett and Gunther. Rodrigo doing a good job of sticking with these guys as well in the 5. And then Blake Warren as well, keeping in touch. Everyone else kind of falling off here. Matt McIntyre, Seth Cole, and Josh Mercurio still at it, still trying. But yeah, his lap time is really, really off.
And Nick Gunther is really trying to find a way by Emmanuel Hartnett. He's getting next to him in the corner, but what's really hurting him is down the straightaway. No one's drafting with Nick Gunther. Allison Rodrigo's drafting behind Emmanuel Hartnett. Hartnett's getting draft from Anthony McCurry. Gunther's going to try it again.
Oh, no!
A little bit of net code there is going to put Emmanuel in the wall. That might let Gunther get by. But as I was saying, if you're going to make a move to the middle or even all the way to the bottom like Rodrigo just did, you want to commit to the lane with all 4 tires. Otherwise, the car just doesn't like it. You got to remember, This game was built on single groove tracks. And what I've noticed over last few years with open setup racing,
Whoa,
McCurry,
McCurry!
hold that thought. Big
Ooh,
save by the 61 off of turn 4.
boy, I was cranking that wheel trying to get off the wall, and once it came off, man, that thing just bit, and there it went, but was able to save it and keep it from hitting the inside.
Gunther will get 5th from that. So to continue my point, what I've learned is the car doesn't like coming off the corner over multiple grip lines. So a track like this that has 2 grip lines, if you're running a car that's super loose, when you jump from one grip line to the other, it might just want to spin out even if it feels fine in the middle of the corner. Alternatively to that, if you're running a tight setup like this, it just makes it push up even faster. So we're really seeing that. I really felt that in practice off of turn 4, but it is a thing a little bit in turn 2 as well. So that's why no one's really going to the bottom, because the second you go to the bottom in 3 and 4, it starts to push straight up off the corner out of turn 4 as McCurry's trying to fight back here against Gunther. Now Hartnett in the wall with a good save.
Yeah, you're gonna drop back there just a little bit. But yep, Gunther up to P5. Not much of a surprise.
Merkel's going for the lead here on LaPrade. He's trying the bottom to the middle, even side by side here down the back straightaway. LaPrade, though, with the run from the top, will clear back going into turn 3. Merkel will try it again. He'll go all the way down to the white line, so he's committing here 4 tires to the bottom. He'll slide up. It's going to be a little tight, about even again, but still advantage LaPrade at the start-finish line.
You're coming into turn number 1 here. Ooh, LaPrade's going to take the line away from him. It's an interesting play there from the 74. Ooh, there's that tightness. Look at Merkel pushing up there.
He took the line away. Aero games there, Andrew, right? You know,
yeah.
as you know, CTS has worse dirty air than Cup. So Dunn took away Jack's line, and you could see it immediately when they got to the exit of turn 2. It just got push on the 24.
Yeah, this is why you would think, I mean, passing is going to be at a premium here, but I think that track position is going to be really big, because making that move on the bottom is way more difficult, although I say that, and he actually got a
he's going
better
to try to
run
use them as a pick maybe
that time than normal. And now it's just a question of where Josh goes.
Ooh,
Oh
Dunn guessed
boy.
wrong. He went low and Mercurio went low. Now Merkel's up against... He was kind of top of middle there. If Merkel had committed to the wall line there, he might have got a really good run to maybe make a move on Dunn here in the 1. He might still get a good run, though.
He's going to maybe try to run the middle this time. Because I guess, yeah, if you have to, probably going, as you said, above that seam is going to be better than going all the way down to the white line. But those two get by the 11. And now that the 11 has found some draft, we'll see how his lap times fare. Actually, I think he may have pitted, now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, that thing is still pretty tore up on the front end. Jesse Sandoval is going to use the inside lane and will clear.
I don't think Mercurio has pit just yet.
If he hasn't, then he's been doing a great job of maintaining lap time. Ooh, watch the wall. Woo! Cody Lamas also getting awfully iffy with that wall there. And I'm actually just realizing that I kept thinking to myself, man, yeah, he hasn't had a lot of fall off. Well, I'm looking at his personal best. His personal best lap time is a second off of everyone else's. So I think, yeah, a lot of that is just damage, honestly.
He also didn't really have any draft or a chance to really get a lap time. I mean, that was the first lap of the race, second lap of the race. You know, he spun off of turn 4, so he has not had a chance to get a legit lap time here. So we'll see how much pace he might really have here once he gets 4 new tires on it.
Yeah, and as long as he can keep...
Oh, he is clutching.
Huh.
I'm going to double check this.
I guess, at this point. Might as well try it.
I believe I heard the engine shut off in the 3. Let me see if it does it again here in 1.
I definitely saw him throw it in there, yeah. So yeah, he's probably trying something alternate here, I would think, as we're 28 laps in. So pit stop should be coming up here fairly soon, probably within the next 3 to 4.
Yeah, so we're really on lap 28. We had the one formation lap. You could say it's more like maybe 28 and a half. I would say LaPrade has used the most gas. He's had the lead the whole time. I think he is going to have to pit a full lap earlier than everyone else. Like, I think Merkel can go definitely one more lap than LaPrade just because he's been in his draft the entire run. You see these two now, though, they are showing they are the class of the field. Andrew, they are pulling away from Sandoval and Lamas, who maybe are getting a bit held up by the lap truck of Mercurio.
Yeah, Mercurio was able to just get back by Sandoval, who they've all pretty much committed to the bottom.
Oh, that time it got really tight on Merkel. He had to get completely off the gas on exit, and he lost a ton of time to LaPrade.
Lost a tenth of a second. Now LaPrade goes to the bottom. I guess now they're... I don't know. Maybe with this being the point of the run and with it being this early on in the race, you think maybe they're just fishing around and just maybe feeling it out just to see what they may have for later on?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea here. You see LaPrade is running just the bottom. Merkel is running up against the wall, trying to get some momentum built up. Matt McIntyre has announced he will be pitting.
32 laps underway here. And yeah, Merkel is actually, he's the one that looks like he's starting to struggle here. He's losing a tenth or two here or there. And whoa, Ulysses! Oh, nearly lost it there off 2.
Don LaPrade is pitting this time as predicted, only can go 31 laps. Merkel is going to follow him in. The other two are staying out, though. Oh, LaPrade wheel hops it on entry. Or no, his pit stall's right there. Same with Jack Merkel. Okay, so we've got random pit stalls here tonight. This is very interesting.
I kind of like it. That'll spice things up. Blake Warren is also in. There's McIntyre.
Everyone is spaced apart pretty nicely.
Give the race lead to Cody Lamas for the time being. He just got by the 96 after Sandoval almost had a moment there. We'll see. It looks like these guys are going to be pitting this time. 48, 96. There's the 4. Oh my goodness. Hot pitting. Oh my goodness. Nick Gunther just about pulled a Larson. But did not, and keeps it going.
Matt McIntyre has spun on pit exit.
And trying to keep it down there. Let's see, so checking through the field. Looks like the only other driver now that has yet to pit, at least of the main guys, is Allison Rodrigo.
He's coming in right here.
And in he comes. Seth Cole's going to spin in front of him.
Oh, don't come back in front of him.
Oof. Ugh. Close there, but all good. Checking between LaPrade and Merkel. Merkel closed back in a little bit there, and now it looks like they're just right back to where they were.
Tell you what, Nick Gunther gained a ton of time on Sandoval and Lamas. Lamas actually now ahead of Sandoval since the last time we saw them running together.
Anthony Mercury may have short pitted, so him and Hartnett are going to get some undercut out of that.
Mercurio is in this time, but I remember he was clutching there.
Let's see how far he could get it. He got it to about 33 laps there, I believe. 34. And then he's going to have to bring it in this time. So, as it stands, still showing Don LaPrade in second. Let's see, who has scored the leader there? Still Rodrigo.
Yeah, they took it back, I think, after pit road, so it should update this time by. So I think Merkel, you know. Sorry,
Rodrigo,
go ahead.
No, you're good, Rodrigo. That is a tough one there. He just shifted coming off of turn 2 there on the access road and lost it. Oh, that's going to be a lot of time lost.
So if I'm Jack Merkel here, I think what I want to do, since it seems I can't get by Dunn no matter how hard I drive it or how much I move around the track. I want to try to back my entry down a little more than him, make sure I'm a little slower than him in the middle of the corner, and then just let the draft pull me down the straightaway. I will not lose touch with him as long as I follow his line and I get his draft down the straightaway. But you cannot fall into the trap of thinking you have to be as close as possible because it is CTS after all, and the right front is the tire to care about. No one's really close behind these guys quite yet, so there's really no inherent risk to this. So just back off a little more on entry, like a mile an hour or two. Don't go into the wall.
Yeah, don't do that.
And just back down the mid-quarter speed that tiny bit, because that might be the only way to get by him here in the long run. Otherwise, you're going to have to try something on pit road as Seth Cole spins right in front of him.
Whoa! Oh, it got hit.
Oh, yep.
Oh, that's a crash.
Big crash.
That'll be a caution there. Seth lost it. Sandoval clobbered him, as did the 61.
Seth Cole is done for the night.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be feeling too good about that one. But hey, it's the nature of the beast sometimes. And we've got ourselves our first yellow flag of the evening, and we may see some. We're going to be seeing some different plays here. I think everyone's going to be definitely taking 4 tires, but it's just going to be a matter of how they're going to stack up now with everyone being bunched back up.
Well, Andrew, and I can see how Seth got loose here. He is straddling the top and the middle through most of the corner entry, and it just starts to turn down on him very slowly, gets loose, and then he just didn't notice it in time or couldn't catch it. Cody Lamas, McCurry, and Sandoval all with nowhere to go. Nick Gunther also gets a tiny piece there with the 96. So just a very unfortunate accident, but that's what you got to be careful of here on these multi-groove tracks is you cannot straddle 2 lanes through most of the corner. Especially for some of these drivers, it is looser on entry to them than to others. So costly mistake.
Yeah, that's going to end the night for the school bus. And Seth Cole will be emerging in as the last 12th place there. So, got pit stops underway.
Tell you, this really benefits Joshua Mercurio. He is back on the lead lap. So he is back in this thing. And by the way, didn't get to point out his scheme yet tonight, Andrew. He's running the yellow Ghost Energy Sour Patch Kids scheme. So not as sour as the Warheads truck last week, but still pretty sour. I mean, he did get wrecked twice. So I can understand running a sour scheme again, just slightly less sour.
He's going to be maybe feeling a little sour on that one. Now, you want to talk about someone who's maybe going to be sour? It may be Dunlop Brad here. Cody Lamas had just beat him off of pit road.
Actually, I got one who's more sour. Jack Merkel just sped on pit road.
Oh, guys, this is not a competition to see who's the most sour. We're not warheads over here.
So that accident's going to take out several drivers. Ulysses Sandoval is done. Anthony McCurry is done. That's going to leave us with 9 drivers on the track.
Yeah, them guys took hard hits. I wasn't sure if it was quite going to be a night ending, but I guess once they came in and saw how much damage they probably had a lot of engine damage, and they were like, nope, no point in this.
So I'll tell you what, that is a crushing blow from McCurry, who came in 6th in the points, 11 behind Merkel. Not really close with the way this point system is rewarded, but he still had an outside shot. Depending where Merkel, Gunther finished tonight, even Mercurio finished tonight, that outside shot becomes a miracle in 3 races shot for the 61 team. They will finish 9th or 10th rather once Matt McIntyre scoring updates. Yep, so 10th place for McCurry, so 3 points for him. And I believe LaPrade has led almost every lap other than the one that Rodrigo and or Cody and Sandoval got staying out there during that cycle.
Yeah, so it's not looking too good for that 61 or the 96 for that matter, as far as any hopes there. Dunn, though, with what we've seen, is that you hitting the heart, by the way?
Yes.
Thank you for that. But based on kind of what I was seeing for Dunn Laprade, yeah, he's gonna need maybe a little bit of good fortune to get himself back up there. He's definitely got the speed to do it. Might just need a little bit of good fortune, as I was saying. But it's this 4 and the 24 that I'm really going to be keeping my eye on, as far as what they're going to be doing between each other. There's only 3 points separating them. Nick, I know, maybe not too thrilled after Ace, so I know he'll be hoping for some good fortune here tonight. Back underway here. Great jump there for the 48. And the 4 is probably going to use the inside lane to his advantage. And that will be P3 for that Square D machine.
So Dunn Laprade was caught sleeping. So now we'll get to see what can Dunn Laprade do when he's in draft. Merkel not wasting much time here. Already back up to 5th place. Now before we got this reset here with the restart, Merkel fastest lap, 33.612. That is everybody running the wall. That is still 0.4 off what they ran in qualifying. Laprade's lap was actually 8th on the board with a 33.725 because he had been leading the entire run. So now we'll get to see what Dunn can do in draft this. Right now, it looks like Gunther is trying to save his tires just that little bit through the middle of the corner, allowing a slight gap to Lamas, but you can't blame him. There's nothing wrong with it. Cody's not going anywhere. You got 7 trucks behind you since your Gunther, as Laprade's going to jump right to his outside here. This is getting tight.
Oh, he's going to get there. A little contact. They save it. But that is the difference in momentum that you carry. Even just like, that wasn't even half a lane. That was like a quarter of a lane difference between those two. And yet you saw how much of a difference Dunn had as far of a run on the 4 and almost took it there as Hartnett attempted the inside lane. Is not going to work out in his favor. Oh my!
Yeah, he hit the paint line and wiggled a little bit, and he about spun it out. Good catch there by Emmanuel. Blake Warren set the fastest lap. He ran a 5.75 that last time by. Now these drivers, now these drivers are going to start getting into their rhythm again here. You saw Laprade try to make a quick move to get back by Gunther for second so he could chase after Lamas. It didn't pan out. Almost got him wrecked. About got Gunther wrecked too. So maybe take a back seat, relax a little bit here. Just let the tires come to you. We've got about, a half an hour here in this thing?
I think we do 31 minutes.
So still one more pit stop here to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. Nelson Rodrigo looking at the inside of the 24. But man, just the momentum on that outside lane. I think Merkel's going to get it back here pretty easily and will do so. Josh Mercurio, he's still there, but I can tell that he's not quite got the pace on these straightaways.
Yeah, CTS very aero dependent, especially when you get damage on a track like this. This track, though, I think maybe on the long run we might see Mercurio come alive a little bit more, but Mercurio, from my experience, not particularly known to be one of the drivers who's fast on a long run, so he's going to have to just bide his time here and hope for something to happen. If he can just keep riding the top and some of these guys run the bottom, he might be able to just gain a few spots that way. Really, right now, I feel like the only way you can really make a pass is if someone goes with you when you make the move to the bottom, and they're going to help push you in the draft by the truck in front of you, but it's still very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Jack Merkel. He was able to pass the 83 there pretty easily, but, really drove it hard in there to make that work, and it almost got him to the inside of the 74, but then you saw him kind of slip back again, and now, he's just trying to kind of settle back in as, boy, that 5.
Nick Gunther got really close to the bumper of Cody Lamas there. Cody had a good amount of pace on that first green flag run. You can see him maintaining said pace. They have not been able to get back by him yet, but Merkel don't seem to really care about tires right now. I think he might feel like track position is going to win him this race. He is trying to go by both Dunn and Nick through 1 and 2, but you see the draft and the momentum of the high line just makes it impossible to get by. Now Rodrigo will give it a shot.
Yeah, pretty much evens them out. When you get right down to it, it's crazy. As Rodrigo, he almost pulled it off, and LaPrade is maybe getting some inspiration as he ducks out of line, but is going to opt to stay there. Blake Warren the next to give it a go. And yeah, there's that straddling from Merkel that time. Oh, here's a bit of a question for you. In a long run, and the truck getting awfully tight, could maybe straddle in that groove line and where the different grips meet each other, could that actually maybe benefit you if you got a truck that's really struggling to turn?
I don't think so. I think it'll just hurt you more. I think it'll just make it tighter. As I said, if you straddle the grip line, it either makes it looser or tighter depending on the setup. I don't foresee that being a benefit even at the end of the run.
Gotcha. Lamas continuing to hold on to this lead. But he's got a lot of guys breathing down his neck, but he's doing a great job. And yeah, as you said, he was doing well in that first run. Really kept with these guys for quite a while, pretty much until like the very, very end of that run. And yeah, you still got everybody relatively under a blanket here, back to Warren and Mercurio, which are 7th and 8th. So still 8 trucks up here, holding pretty well. But I wouldn't be surprised if this 74 and 24 are going to be maybe getting back by these two. But we know Nick Gunther, though. He is no slouch, and I think that he very, very well could mix things up here with those other two. And if Cody Lamas is able to maintain this pace, as long as he's able to keep those tires under him, who knows? We may be seeing that 48. Maybe mixing it up a little bit more than we initially thought.
Almost halfway through this run here since the restart. Projecting pit stops around 70 to 72.
All right, so
it should be about 10 to 15 minutes left in the race is my guesstimate.
So definitely they won't have any issue as far as making it on that one more stop. Definitely got to think 4 tires are going to be the way to go. Maybe even in a run that short, you may even want a short pit. We saw how much track position Emmanuel Hartnett and Anthony McCurry were able to gain by doing so. So it's possible that someone, maybe like maybe someone in the position running like Rodrigo or like Hartnett or Mercurio for that matter, given his situation, maybe they'll go alternate strategy and try to pit a little bit earlier, gain some track position, and just hope that maybe the run is short enough that they can hold on to it.
Yeah, undercut, though, in trucks is a double-edged sword. You can gain time doing it, but you need a draft partner or two to do it with you. Because ultimately, if you do it by yourself, you're actually hurting yourself tremendously, because trucks is all about draft. Even on a track that they're lifting this much at, draft makes your lap time. So if you undercut by yourself or even with a partner, but you lose your partner, if the people that pit after you come out in draft, you are already down the hole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, these straightaways, it's definitely a good few mile an hour at the very least difference. And then, yeah, you're going to gain that lap time. So definitely going to be the way to go. And, yeah, the spectator cam just showed a great perspective there of everyone's lift points. Jack Merkel lifted very early compared to everybody else. I saw Dunn LaPrade and Nick kind of lift off at different points. Whereas Cody Lamas may have gone in the hardest that time by just a little bit. But yeah, everyone's still really on top of each other. Credit to Rodrigo. He is also doing a fantastic job of sticking with these guys. Currently running P5 in the number 5. So as long as he can keep up that pace. That is a great run for him as it stands. With 24.5 minutes to go, Nick Gunther still right on the tail of the 48, maybe as close as he has been so far. So I don't know. I feel like maybe the clock's ticking for when Nick is going to try to make that move.
Yeah, well, I saw it again, Andrew. Cody Lamas had 2 tires dip below the seam through 3 and 4, and it let Gunther close right up to him on the exit of the corner. Arguably could have maybe tried to make a move there.
How crazy is
And
that?
and when you talk about draft here, Andrew, I can put it into perspective for you. I did my run pretty much by myself. When I would run the top at the beginning of the run, I was setting about 34 twos. These guys in draft, when they went green, they were hitting 33 sixes and sevens. So you are going to be half a second
Uh-oh.
slower by yourself, even if you run the top. So yeah, you want a draft partner if you're going to undercut. Is right. They caught Matt going right into the corner.
Yeah, and the usual common courtesy from lap traffic is, yep, go high, let these guys go past. But that
Gunther's
is
got a
not
good
ideal this
opportunity
time.
here. Gunther
Ooh,
went to the middle while Cody went all the way to the bottom. Sorry to cut you off there, Andrew, but
you're
yep, side
fine.
by side for the lead.
Here we go, going into turn number 1. Is Nick going to have enough to try to make this pass? I
He's
don't think so.
he's clear, but I don't think he can slide up unless Cody lets him have it. He's going to slide
Whoa!
up anyway.
Oh, crossover attempt here now by the 48. Nick was able to get clear. As everyone, it looks like, is going to gradually get by. 738, and now advantage 4.
Oh, he's in the
Unless he
wall.
gets in the wall and
Oh, and he's
spin
going
it!
to lose it. No, he
Save
saves
it!
it.
Clips the inside, but holds on. That shouldn't affect him too much from damage, but just like that, all that track position gone.
Yeah, and I mean, he had the pass finished. He really had no reason to push too much. It just got tight on him, I think, and he got in the wall. Great save, though, but like you said, loses 4 positions, and we'll have to work hard through the pit cycle to get this back. I was gonna go into a little tidbit there about how I'm not really surprised Nick pulled off that slide job. I've known Nick a long time in the community, and he's not one to shy away from making a move when he feels the need he has to make it. So it was a great move. Cody cut him probably a little bit of a break there, and especially since it's a truck, there wasn't too big of a run there. And Cody went back low, and then it looked like it just got tight on him off of turn 4 there.
Yeah, and I know from experience that when you get tight like that and you're cranking the wheel, and then the truck bites after you do nudge the wall, and then yeah, it kicks the back end around, and he did a great job of minimizing the effect of it. And just like that, he's actually closing back in on pretty much everybody. But yeah, I feel like he's probably going to be driving a little bit angry as well. While all that was happening, Dunlap did get by for the race lead. Jack Merkel is back in second.
Yeah, I was just about to say, through all of that, we're back to where we were at the end of the first green flag run, and that's LaPrade in first and Merkel in second.
Lamas has been doing a fantastic job up here, and he's still sticking with them. Trying to run a little bit higher, maybe. And someone else who's actually, okay, he's actually making, ooh, Blakemore nearly lost it as well. But I am impressed with where Josh Mercurio has now gotten himself to. He's running 6th, and he's actually closed in slightly, despite the damage. He's still chugging this thing along.
He just lost a ton of time off of turn 4. He had to really get out of the gas because it got tight on him. So he didn't want to hit the wall and get damage again. So he had to really lift out of it coming up off the bottom. That cost him about 3/10 off of exit to the line and probably another 3 down the other half of the front straightaway.
Yeah, I think everyone's now in the point of this run where these tires are screaming and are none too pleased. So everyone's going to be maybe trying to find pace where they can, whether it's taking the shorter way around or trying to get even closer to that wall. Still see a few guys trying some lower lines like Nick. Cody's still getting closer to that groove. But
So
Nicky's still going for it.
interestingly enough, there's almost contact right there
Ooh.
between the 4 and the 5. Interestingly enough, the right front does not go yellow. But as I said during pre-race, there is a ton of wear loss built into the I&I, so it might as well be yellow because of how tight it gets.
Yeah. Yeah, I distinctly remember, like, any time that I would feel like, oh my gosh, this thing is driving awful. Like, I've got to be almost in the red at this point. And then I look down and it's, oh, Nick. Oh, a little too much of the wall that time. Actually, downshifts it.
Rodrigo will go back by. I don't
Man.
recommend downshifting it off the corner. It might just get loose and step out.
Yeah. At least that's what it looked like on my end. Obviously, when you're outside of the player's perspective, you don't know exactly what's going on, but it looks like that's what happened. Lap 68 now begun, and as you said, yeah, it's still a 74 and 24 show. Up there at the front, those two are pretty much in a stalemate, only 0.004 of a second separating their lap times that last time by. Nick and Rodrigo still in striking distance.
I will say, Andrew, the one time it is accurate what the player is doing is when you have the Malin exe in the server. Then it shows you exactly what's going on.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, we've got a caution. There was a crash down the front straightaway.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, something nasty has happened here.
I think it involved Blake Warren.
He's trying to find Blake, and there he is.
Oh, yep. He lost it, and then he got drilled by Matt McIntyre.
Oh boy. Take a look here. This is off of turn 4. Calamity Corner, pretty much. I say that, and yet Seth Cole spun it in 2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Matt barely got into him.
Ugh. Yeah, it wasn't like a direct hit. It was quite the glancing blow, though. Holy cow.
It almost looked like it got arrow loose when it scuffed against the wall right on corner exit, and it just barely came around on him. And then, Matt thought he was going to be low as he's coming off the corner. Truck goes back up to the outside wall. And then Matt, tried his best, but he's limited because I believe he's on keyboard still, if I'm not mistaken. So limited to how fast he can turn out of the way, and just barely gave a glance and blow to the 8.
And a multi-car incident, and caution is out. Everybody on pit road with 16 minutes remaining. I got to imagine that this will probably be
this is the money
stop. Long run, but this will definitely be the final stop here if we go green. 70 laps in, and with 2 cautions, this has been a pretty good race.
You know what they say, Andrew? Cautions can breed cautions. The first one didn't breed any cautions, but everyone knows that this could be the last pit stop. LaPrade and Merkel drag race. Give it to LaPrade.
Cody will remain in 3rd, and Gunther will leapfrog the 5 and the 11, and that will put him in P4. That is going to be a dangerous driver to look out for right there. And of course, the 48's was pretty fast that entire run. So, and look who's 5th after all that we were saying earlier. Let me restart in P5. That 11.
And good on Jack Merkel here this time. Did not speed on pit road, so he'll maintain P2 status.
That is going to make things really interesting. Obviously, Dunn has been the class of this field so far, but Jack has been right there with him. Fell off a little bit at the very end of the initial run.
We might get to go green here. I'm not sure.
We'll see what they give the call here.
Might be going. I think they're doubled up, ready to go. I think they're going to go this time.
Yeah, hey,
no word in chat, but I think they might as well go this time. We'll see. As they approach the restart zone.
74 with control.
Yep.
And here we go indeed. Pretty nice restart there, though, from the 24, considering the fact that full control goes to the race leader. And then we'll see what kind of run he's going to be able to get off of the corner here as the 48 actually slides up. That's probably going to hurt him. Oh, nearly trouble there, but so far so good. And now back into familiar territory with the 24 and the 74. But now you got a third driver in that mix who I know is going to be wanting to make some noise. Although there's a run there from the 24, but not going to quite pull it off.
Ooh, he was stepping it a little sideways there down on the bottom too. Mentioned in the pre-race, this thing can get loose on the bottom at the beginning of the run. So Merkel, you can see him.
Oh.
He is wiggling that thing as
Oh, so
Lamas
is
is going to lose
Lamas!
it.
Gets into
Blake
Bourne. I think that'll be another yellow.
Yep, yellow is out. We're racing back, and if I'm anybody in here, I'm pitting again.
Oh, yeah, pit whenever you can. Absolutely.
Small field. I know track position is important, but I think you want some extra tires here. If you pit for tires here after going 2 laps, it might let you use the bottom a little more. Ooh, Hartnett, don't wreck it.
Ugh. A little nerve-wracking there, but what was it that you were saying about getting loose on these restarts? I think that Cody Lamas just got bit by that bug.
Well,
And,
I think Jack Merkel needs to change his depends because he about wrecked it there, straddling the white line.
yeah, I was looking at him going like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's gone. And I think that grip line caught out Lamas, and then a hit there to the 8, and that sent him around. And yep, that was the multi-car.
Yeah,
He's going to see this race back.
That was a heart in the throat moment right there for the 24. We'll see if anyone actually thinks it's worth pitting here. I think it would be. There's still plenty of time left for it to pay dividends.
So if Merkel had a heart in the throat moment and then coming to slow down, do you think Hartnett had a Hartnett in the throat moment?
Oh, look at this.
Ooh, what do we got here?
Look at this. LaPrade and Gunther will be the only 2 to stay out. Everyone else comes down.
Oh, boy.
And Merkel's taken 4 tires.
What is going to be the difference maker here? Track position or tires that are about 2 laps newer? Ooh, this will be something. Let's see if anyone maybe goes 2.
Everyone so far I've seen has done 4.
And that will include the 48.
Yep, everyone's taken 4.
Oh,
so
48
now
did just spin. Yeah, what am I talking about?
if you're Gunther or Dunlap here, you're begging for at least one more caution. Because if you don't get one more caution, you might be a sitting duck here if it goes green to the finish. It's only going to be a 10-minute run. Let me do some quick math on what that 10-minute run would look like.
Probably what, about 18 laps? Probably would be my guesstimate.
Might be. Let's see.
Does it be about 15 laps if they were running 45 seconds? And they're running about 35 or 33, 34. So
it'll be 17, probably 18 laps.
Right on, because yeah, they do get the additional lap once the timer runs out. As yeah, we've got just under 11 minutes to go. And
they're gonna be pacing one more lap here since Rodrigo's pitting this time by.
Yeah, and so I think 738 did get the free pass, so he's gonna go around and get his lap back here. Taking a look at the standings, that will put him on the lead lap. Everyone will be on the lead lap here this run. Yep, still got those 3 drivers out of it. Oh,
so now,
boy.
Here's what I would do, Andrew. On this restart, if you're Dunlap or Nick Gunther, you got to be thinking, okay, it's only 2 laps. Don't panic. We still got a shot at this thing. Top line is king. But if I'm Jack Merkel and I'm lined up 3rd, the second I get momentum here in these first few laps while the tire heat is building up, I want to send it to the bottom and slide up in front of the leader. And then I am in control of my destiny here.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that one.
The 2-lap tire advantage will help you just a tiny bit to maybe make that move on the bottom. But the 2-lap disadvantage, you are not going to go anywhere on the bottom. So that's what Merkel's got to do, in my opinion.
I think that's I don't see it working out any other way, really. That sounds pretty spot on. Obviously, though, I mean, you're the superior driver to me. Let's be honest here. So,
Oh, please don't blow that smoke my way.
here we go. Don LaPrade, they're with control. Another great restart there. Pretty much
Look
by
at Jack
everybody.
Merkel. Jack Merkel
Oh
already
boy.
side by side with Gunther. He's going to follow LaPrade past the 4 here with draft. He's got to set up LaPrade here.
Yeah, he's got to get a good run off here. Nick's going
Don't
to get
do
the
it
draft
here.
and stay in third.
Set up the run off of turn 4. Yep.
Agreed. Oh yeah, he's listening to you. He knows what's up.
Yep,
And
you can see
there's a good run there.
You can see the difference in grip, even though it's only a 2 laps a heat cycled. He's got a good run here. Maybe he might want to get a little closer and do it into turn 3, or he might just go right here.
There he goes.
He's going to go right here. And look at that. All the way to the middle, down to the bottom, to the white line.
Kind of the same thing that happened to him last time, though.
Lost too much momentum. He's going to have to build it again and go for it again. What does Nick Gunther do here? Gunther's going to lift, actually.
Yeah, Gunther, I think, just going to try to save his stuff right now. The 48 ain't. He ain't saving. He's gunning for it. Oh, look out!
In the wall. Almost contact with Mercurio. Yeah, oh boy. They are not giving an inch now.
Oh, I thought that was toast right there. Oh my gosh, I really have 8 minutes left in this thing. My goodness.
It's go time. Merkel really loose again.
Second half of the race always just flies right by. But Mercurio are going to get by hard net.
He closed there, though. Merkel got loose, but he's still closed in the center of the corner. He's got a clear advantage here on LaPrade. You can even see it with Lamas next to Gunther. Look at Lamas all the way on the bottom, is inching ahead here as they come off of 4.
Well, he may actually get this position. I think he is.
Yep.
And he will.
He slots in front of Nick. Nick's going to give him the bump.
Ooh.
Merkel's got to make the move right here.
Yeah, he's going to be thinking about it here now.
Oh, he hold on to it? No, he's not. He loses it.
Hold on, Nick.
Gunther he gets around into Rodrigo.
Into Warren and into Rodrigo's upside down, and that was all after the 24 lost it. The 2 championship top 2 as Gunther saves the 5. Oh, that was kind of funny, but oh my goodness. Zach, what is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it was the move to make.
Absolutely.
But I think he turned too hard. Because we talked about it being loose at the beginning of a run, and I think that's a result of turning the wheel too much when you're out of the gas. So I think Merkel lifted too much out of the gas when he turned the steering wheel into the corner. He maybe should have kept like 20%, 30% throttle. Maybe he did do that and it still stepped out on him. But it looked like ultimately a result of just turning the wheel too hard, too quickly, and it just stepped out on him across the grip lanes. Now everybody's going to pit because they went like 4 laps that time, and now it's really on. Don LaPrade is in a perfect position here.
I also just would like to point out the fact that Jack actually saved that thing. He never went around.
He got really lucky. I think some of those guys scattered a bit for him, but yeah, he drifted the corner basically.
That's going to put him at the... Oh,
well, we've got some people that think they're going to be able to hold the top here, and that's Emmanuel Hartnett and Blake Warren, and I don't blame them. Go for it.
You might as well,
They've been lurking inside, outside the top 5 all night. Time is running down to the wire here. We're going to have, 3 minutes to go, I think, on this next restart.
Mm-hmm. Two tire stop there for the 74 and the 24.
That's curious. I don't know how much that's going to work for him.
Let's see. Cody Lamas, he was pushing the hardest there. He's going to go 4.
I'll tell you what, Nick Gunther took 4 tires.
Absolutely. Or is that just seeing things?
Cody Lamas, I think, took 2.
No, he did take 4. So, okay, I must have been seeing things. Hold on. Am I being stupid? I think I'm being stupid.
I'll look for you.
I got you.
Nope, 74 and 24 took 4.
They did, okay. What was I seeing? Oh my gosh. For someone that has been working in the field of eyes for 5 years, you would think I would see a little bit better.
Oh, like an eye doctor?
Yeah,
Oh, I wear glasses, so.
I was at I was let's see, my career has basically led me from being a lab technician manufacturing glasses to being an optician, and now working at two different ophthalmologists.
Oh,
Over
we
time.
are
Oh,
going green,
oh,
and
here
no
we
one
go.
was caught up.
Dang, okay. That's a curious decision.
Matt McIntyre and Allison Rodrigo were not caught up, and they went.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know if
Hartnett's
that
in the
was an
wall.
admin call or if that was just Hartnett thinking that, all right, it's time to go. And
Blake Warren lost everything. He immediately dropped from second all the way down the running order. Glamis already back to the lead.
Gunther down to the inside. Hartnett in the wall. He's going to get
Yeah,
into the 11.
they save it.
Boy, wow. That call has me all kinds of stumped. But
And Jack Merkel made it by Dunlap through that chaos.
Merkel is ahead of the 74, and the 4 is trying to fight back here. He's going to fall back to fourth, though, with this run.
These are
But
our
now it's
players right
Cody.
here. These are our players right here, Andrew. The 48, 24, 74, and the 4. They all got a 4 in the number.
Yeah, 4's a wild in this series. Let me tell you that.
We're getting down to the wire here. 3 minutes, I believe.
Just over 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And Merkel is on a charge here. But remember, all 4 of these guys, they've got 4 tires. So they're all pretty much on even playing field. They're crashing again. Boy, that just saved the 5 and the 8.
Merkel's going to go for it here.
Coming back to the caution flag. Is he going to make it work?
He might be the leader at the line. Yeah, he cleared him.
Oh, Jack Merkel to the point. Under yellow.
Now what do you do? This is likely the last restart.
Yeah, I think this will be it. Oh boy. If I'm one of these guys, that is a dang good question. We're going to take a very, very, very quick look at what has triggered this caution flag. It was the 8 and the 738. I'm going to sneeze.
I think Matt spun.
Yeah, it looks like he may have just self-spun it, kind of similar to some of the others before him.
Similar to Seth Cole, except Matt was just completely in the middle the whole time, and it just looped on him the same way, nice and slow.
Yeah. Oof. That'd have been a nervous moment there for the 11.
This is a very important call here, Andrew, because remember, it's straight up points for the whole 5 races.
Yeah.
So if you make the wrong call here, you're losing points that could cost you the championship.
Oh, boy.
So far, it looks like
Merkel.
everyone's pitting.
Is anyone going to fake it?
Nope. Now everyone's
Everybody!
out. Well, all our front runners stayed out. Everybody that thinks they probably don't have a chance to win is going to pit and put tires on it.
Yeah, I think Hartnett especially has to, because he stayed out initially that first time, as did the 8. I really hope that they let everyone catch up this time. That I won't lie, and I will say
that was a little bizarre.
That call boggled my mind. We got a minute to go, so this is going to be green, white, checkered. 86 laps in.
So everyone's taking 4. You've got Merkel and Lamas on the front row, bottom and outside, then Laprade and Gunther in row 2. Laprade's in a really good spot here. Gunther, you could also argue, is in a good spot because he's second car on the top. He could get a really big run here off of turn 2, then into turn 3. If he can maybe make a crossover, send it 3 wide. I don't know if 3 wide on the bottom would work, but it's worth a shot.
Sometimes you do what you gotta do, and I mean, the last thing that I think any of these guys want to see is Merkel win this race, because then he's just going to say see you later as far as points go. And then they're going to have to hope for the best that Coca-Cola things don't go his way. Yeah, I think that's all there is to it, as we are 3, 2, 1 on the timer. Da-ding! There it is.
And they're going green. They're going green right here.
Everybody has caught up this time. And remember, they have to make it a full lap, or else we do it again.
Green flag is out. Great jump by Jack
Ooh, not
Merkel.
good there from
Bad
Dunn.
restart by Dunn. Yeah, terrible restart. Gunther might get clear here in the turn one. He's got it. Not quite.
Ooh, not quite there, but that might actually help Nick, because then he's going to run a little higher, maybe try to get the run. Oh, Cody is right there on Jack.
Yeah, Jack was actually a little slow through the center of the corner. That's going to let Cody get to his inside here in the turn three.
Going to send it here on the bottom, I'm sure. Oh, my goodness. He's going to lose it. No one else involved. Oh, that's a hit to the 738. Will they throw it? Doesn't look like it. White flag here. Side by side between our two dominators of the night.
Pratt all the way on the bottom, trying to get everything he can. Merkel actually turns down from the top to the middle to try to pinch off the 74's exit.
And it worked.
That might be the move to win the race.
Oh, they're slowing. They threw it.
Oh, the yellow is out.
We're going to do it again.
Flag. Oh, man. Now what do you do?
Well,
assuming pit road's open here.
What's the call?
Merkel's thinking about it.
Dunn's going to stay.
Gunther pits last second as Merkel takes out the cone.
My goodness, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Nick sniffed the barrel there.
No problem, race control. We appreciate the clarification. Josh was saying sorry for the late call on the yellow.
I mean, yeah, if the 738 had gone by, it would have been fine. But he just got nicked, and then started to lose it. So I was like, that's probably going to be the yellow.
I'll tell you what.
It was before they took the white. So
I'll tell you what. I just hope Mercurio didn't Parker Kligerman Merkel right there.
Wait, what?
Oh, you don't remember the very late yellow call from the Charlotte Roval last fall that took Parker Kligerman out of a win?
Oh.
Yeah, I hope Josh just didn't pull a NASCAR right there.
Oh, don't remind me.
Hit the button before the line, but the lights came on after the line. Yeah.
as an unironic Parker Kligerman fan, that hurt. Well, actually, it started ironically, and then it became like I legit was rooting for him. That is a story and a half right there as to how I became a Parker Kligerman fan. Perhaps I will tell that story after this finish.
All right, yeah, so we've got Merkel and LaPrade now on the front row. Hartnett, Blake Warren in row 2. Put Gunther back 8th on the outside line. Lamas last in line on the bottom. Can they make it green this time? Green, white checkered attempt, number 2.
I'm going to take the 90th lap here. We've got plenty of time to make it happen. Of course, no surprise there. Advantage to the 24.
Oh, wow.
Going to get it going.
Hartnett gave him a shot right on the green.
Now he's blocking the 11.
Oh,
that's not going to help things. Oh, but look at the 74. Look at this.
Merkel just can't seem to push it as hard as they're almost 4 wide back there.
Nick is desperate to get up there.
Oh, LaPrade's going to
actually run here.
LaPrade's going to stick to the outside. Merkel goes to the bottom. Merkel gets a great exit, though.
Oh, yeah, that worked out nicely for him. White flag is official.
Going for second.
Up in the P3. Nick is going 3 wide. Trying to make up ground with those new tires. It's going to work for him here.
Ooh, LaPrade's getting help from Blake Warren. Does Blake Warren make a move 3 wide? Merkel, LaPrade, even side by side down the back straightaway. What does Blake Warren do? He's looking low.
Ooh, big dive there. Oh, look at
he's
this!
To the inside of LaPrade.
3 wide! Cody up into the wall. But the run's going to go for Jack Merkel. He's going to crash.
It gets second
Gunther gets second place. And Merkel wins it.
Wow, that was wild.
LaPrade third.
That hurt Blake Warren the most. He went from a potential podium to 6th place.
Oh. Hey, he had to do what he could, but man, that was bold. It was the end of the race, though, and it's like, well, hey, why not, you know? But,
I mean, that was a great move, Andrew. It looked like at first Blake was just going to follow down LaPrade through 3 and 4, but then LaPrade squeaked up just a bit, got tight, let Blake Warren get to his inside. LaPrade had to lift heavy to not get into Jack. And then, Blake, I don't know if Blake thought he was clear because he just turned dead right on corner exit as if there was a hole to get into behind Merkel, and it caused that crash. So maybe a bit of miscommunication there between Blake and Dunn. It looked like Blake thought he was cleared the way he turned to the right. So that's very unfortunate. I think he had second place, and he just miscalculated the gap.
Yeah, yeah, if it was a miscalculation or an attempt to maybe side draft or something there, we'll definitely get a replay of that here in a moment. But Jack Merkel has disappeared into the smoke screen that he is leaving behind. He's had a lot of practice doing these burnouts this season, and but the fact that Nick Gunther was able to sneak his way into second place, the damage is going to be very much minimized heading into Coca-Cola. So, if my math serves me correctly, since I'm pretty sure they would have both led laps, or actually no, I don't think Nick did. So even if Nick didn't, it's only going to be a 2-point loss. So it's still only going to be 5 points between those guys heading into the wild card that is Coca-Cola.
Tell you, Nick Gunther was 6th at the white flag, and he got second place because of what happened there between the 8 and the 74.
We'll go ahead and get another look here at this final time through 3 and 4. Yeah, pretty much dead even there.
It really just looks like Blake. It really just looks like Blake thought he was clear and he wasn't. I mean, that's the only explanation I think that makes sense here.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just committing to that line. I mean, I was just looking from TB2, and yeah, that was, I don't know. Yeah, that's tricky.
And that's really unfortunate because that didn't cost Dunn anything. Dunn still came home with a third place finish, but Blake went from 2nd to 6th. And Gunther
but Blake
went
had
from
the lead there for a brief moment. A very brief moment. He was ahead of both of them. Oh, man. That's nuts.
2 straight weeks of great finishes, though. I'll tell you what, Andrew. No complaints there from me.
Crazy finishes. Oh, man. And Jack Merkel has won them both, but it certainly did not come without a heck of a fight. And I'm pretty sure Dunn is actually going to end up with the most laps led. Whew. That was wild. Homestead delivers again. That's really all I can say. It has delivered so many times that we've come here, whether it's the finale or not, and it came around once again. 48 actually ended up on the wall, kind of bouncing off of the 11. I'm watching. He just came up, and yeah, Nick was able to sneak by on the inside there. That is going to be Mercurio 5th after the night that he had. That is incredibly wonderful there to see that comeback. And Emmanuel Hartnett will sneak into 4th. How about that? Oh, Zach, I'm out of breath.
Another great week of racing here in the Winter Truck Series.
Another week that has not disappointed. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, we got 3 races to go now. Coca-Cola, Myrtle Beach, and we wrap it up at Vegas. So, yeah, that was thrilling. That was exciting. Dunn gave it everything that he had. He definitely had a very worthy car there. But still, he got a lot to be proud of with 3rd place there, just duking it out among all of them there at the end. So,
see if we can't get Dunn LaPrade up here first.
yeah, we'll see who's wanting to talk after that craziness. But yep, Dunn is up here now. Do you copy?
Yes, so I do.
Well, you pretty much dominated that thing along with Jack. And then hey, you had a combination of some long runs and you showed speed there. You were needing to get after it there at the very end to try to win it, and it was close. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a third place finish. Still a very solid run though. But you got to talk me through that last lap, man. That was pretty wild to watch.
Yeah, and I knew that it was going to be tight going to turn 3 and 4. I was honestly surprised that I was able to, the truck was able to make a stick on the bottom like that in turns 1 and 2. And I got alongside with Jack, and I was thinking to myself, I was going to have a good shot. I knew he was going to pitch me, which is what you expect to do at the end of these races. And I got in the corner funny, and I, messed up the corner and allowed Black to get inside of me, and I just lost it from there. So mad at myself for that, and mad at the circumstances as well, but just more so mad at myself for that. But that's just kind of the the nature of the beast when it comes to these super green white checkered finishes. It's when you get after in the end. I mean, you got to be precise, and I came up just a bit short, one mistake, and just like last week, one mistake cost me the win, and deja vu of that last week. I win the pole, lead the most laps, and go on to make a mistake at the very end, and that cost me a shot to win. So um, disappointed about that one, but obviously, congrats to Jack. He deserves that one every bit. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with what he did whatsoever at all. Just frustrating at the moment, to come short again. But that's just kind of the way things go sometimes.
And it still resulted in a pretty decent finish at the end of the day. Zach, got anything there for Dunn?
No, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I completely zoned out.
That's perfectly fair.
I
We've all
I
had that.
I know Dunn well enough from the past few interviews we've had with him. You ask him one question and he gives you every answer for every other question. So yeah. I guess did you have fun tonight, Dunn?
Other than the finish, yeah, I had a lot of fun. It obviously being the leader kind of helps out, but I was still having a lot of fun, battling out with Jack and others too when we were all linked up together. And yeah, that was a fun and exciting battle. Obviously, not the finish that I wanted, but that's just like I said, that's just how things go sometimes. And yeah, I mean, it got really wild at the end, so that was it was wild.
Dunn, at this rate, though, we got to get you in the booth because I'm telling you, you do such a good job of explaining this stuff. It's like, man, you fit in right, you fit right in up here.
Yeah, you never
Cool.
know. So
I think I may have
Man,
had
where's
you
my
once or twice.
praise, Andrew?
You're fine, I guess. I'm just kidding.
Oh man. I know
Nah,
I'm just
nah.
playing.
Hey, why do you think I keep having you come back, man? You're a lot of fun. You do a
My
great
good
job.
looks.
You're good looks. No one can see us.
That's the point.
But hey, still, even if the finish wasn't quite where you wanted, man, it was a great run, and I'm 99% sure that you got the most laps led out of that. You're now third in the championship, only 9 back, so still with a shot at it. So we'll be keeping an eye out for you, of course. But hey, closing thoughts and shout outs are always yours whenever you get up here. So have at it, my friend.
pretty much carbon copy of what I've been doing when it comes to closing thoughts. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast and commentating the race. Shout out to Josh for the series. Shout out to Seth for the league. Shout out to everyone watching at home, um, watching this, and shout out to everybody who's made me a better driver and a better person in this game.
I like it. Well, good luck at the wild card that will be Coca-Cola. We'll be keeping an eye out for you, and we'll see what happens these final 3 races. Great job though tonight.
Thank you all.
Right.
User left your channel.
Yeah, the top 3 finishers in this race are now the top 3 in the championship, in that exact order. I'm looking at the points now, and it is indeed Merkel by 5 over Gunther. Laprade 9 back, and Mercurio 10 back. So I think it's probably down to those 4 at this point. Speaking of Nick, though, I think we'll maybe see if we can get him in here. After it looked like a late strategy call might not work out for him, a couple things ended up working out in his favor, despite some near misses and some trouble. He was able to get it back up into P2. So, or if not him, then maybe we'll talk to Jack. Are you poking them, if I may ask?
I sent Nick a message, but I don't know if he has message alerts on or not. I can try poking him, unless Josh is listening.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you to anyone who may have tuned into this thing. Yep, I'll go ahead and just throw it out there. Of course, yep, tuning in, of course, every Tuesday here for the next 3 weeks to see who ends up being the champion here
User
for the
joined your
Winter
channel.
Truck
I have
Series.
been summoned.
And you have been summoned.
There he is.
Nick Gunther, my man. Hey, you know how it works. You got top 3, you gotta come up here.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes. It is your destiny.
Okay.
It is your
Well,
destiny.
It is
I
my
mean-
I hand you the
destiny.
sword.
Okay.
We did have someone skip Sunday night.
Well, yeah, that's true. But she doesn't like interviews.
Oh, man.
I was hoping she would, though. That would have been very entertaining. But
Everyone has a party pooper, that's why they invited you. Party pooper. Okay, anyway.
that is a reference that I do not get. But
She'll
Nick-
get it.
Nick, it was maybe a little bit of an up and down night for you, but with all that craziness there in the last lap, you got through there to finish second, and you still had a bad fast truck, as you always do. But yeah, I just got to ask you, like, from your perspective, you went from 6th to 2nd in that final lap. What was going through your mind there for those final couple of green white checkers?
Most undeserving second place I have ever had in my entire life, to tell you the truth.
At least you're honest.
Andrew, of all the interviews you've known to me, you know I'm gonna be brutally honest no matter what.
Oh, I know. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And trust me, I have had those wins and podium finishes and good finishes that I absolutely did not feel like I deserved. But no, I mean, considering the championship battle between you and Jack, I mean, even though he was able to win the race, I mean, you're still well and truly within striking distance of him. That's got to give you at least a little bit of a good boost here for these final 3 races.
Yeah, Coke Zero needs to be a miracle, but I guess Super Speedways has been kind of like my thing recently. I don't know. You're talking to a washed road course racer / short track racer at this point, who's only good at Super Speedways now. So maybe who knows? Maybe my luck will turn around for the Coke Zero. I mean, I had a fantastic race at Talladega for the Budweiser series on Sunday. I mean, let's see how the Coke or Coke Zero, wherever we decide to go anyway for the next race at Super Speedway, and just I don't know, just hope and pray, I suppose.
Hope and pray. And do your best there. Zach, what you got, if anything?
Well, Nick, I don't think you're a washed road course racer, but anyway, can you describe the back and forth emotions I'm sure you must have felt here tonight with you took the lead and then very next corner you get in the wall and you lose 4 spots. Then the dynamic pit strategy we saw through the last few yellows tonight. What was it like just emotionally going back and forth from front to middle to front to middle?
This is not a good Homestead. just to say this now, that's literally what I felt like as soon as I saw like what the race was gonna have turned into. I was like, yeah, this is not a good Homestead compared to some of the other ones I ran throughout the last like few days. Anyway, I ran a race at Next. Where they kind of like made the top and bottom lanes kind of work. I was like, oh, that race was fun. I wish they had something like this for tonight. But then everyone was riding the top, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're just gonna choo train all the way up there. And then, of course, afterwards, I was like, oh, let's try to make something happen on the bottom because I'm getting sick and tired of doing something. And I'm surely won't get punished for trying something, right? No, of course I get punished. I hate these types of tracks where you get punished for trying to make a move, for trying to make something happen, to try to make something that's completely different from what you're supposed to do. And it worked, but then you get punished immediately afterwards. I hate tracks like this. It's like this with Ace Speedway 2 last week. Like, the moment you take the lead, something fucking stupid happens.
Whoa there.
Alrighty.
Sorry about that. But that's the point, though. It's something stupid always happens.
Well, I guess you got the emotions. Well, at the end of the day, the second place, you ran well, and if you got any clean shout-outs to give, you may do so.
Oh, yeah, of course. I got to go for a shout out to Mr. Clean, of course. He keeps my mouth clean, or at least he tries to keep my mouth clean during this whole interview anyway. Got to thank Mr. Clean, of course, with the magic eraser, who's probably going to need to magic erase my mouth after that one. Also, maybe like chew myself with like a bar of soap or something along with it. All right. It's serious time. Of course, I got to thank my YouTube channel. Of course, we just reached 750 subscribers, of course, MindyQ787B. We do NASCAR Thunder gameplay, of course. We're just out in the third season of NASCAR Thunder 2000. We're probably going to get ourselves ready for NASCAR 25 when that comes out. Of course, as we all know, I'm doing the Bobby Hamilton tour for the trucks. We were running the Square D Cup truck from not his 2003 or 2004 scheme, but when he ran a couple races in 2002, replacing some random guy. I don't remember whose name was. I think it was Brian Rose or whatever. But yeah, I gotta thank of course, all the Bobby Hamilton partners we had this season. We had Lufkin Pro. We had Bailey's on the truck at one point. We had Fastenal at one point. I think that's it, besides Square D, of course. And of course, we're going to prepare for something special at the very last race of the season. So we can't wait to show you guys that.
Looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing how things play out for you. All right, I'll let you go. Go chew on that bar of soap, will you?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser now.
I need to see you sponsored by him now. That would be the best.
Yeah, maybe another league, but not this one.
Yeah, you got the Bobby Hamilton stuff going, so I don't blame you. Hey, still, it all went well, and good luck at Coke Zero.
And I'm out.
User left your channel.
Well, that was a Noah Gregson moment if I've ever seen one. We might have to get a fine set up for that, man. Anyway, we've got Jack Merkel. Real quick, Andrew, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask the first question here to our race winner.
Go right ahead.
Okay, Jack, so am I getting credited as your crew chief for this win or what? Because I'm sure you were listening to me, right?
Yeah, 100%. I'll give you that.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Andrew, you can. I'm good.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah, it was you and Dunn pretty much the whole night. Things maybe went your way a little bit a couple times, but also you definitely weren't afraid to try to make the different lines work. And aside from that one time that you lost it and were able to save it, that thing was on rails. It seemed from my perspective, but I don't know, how did it seem to drive for you, and yeah, how the heck were you able to hold on to that thing, considering the 3-wide finish you almost had?
Man, it was really difficult, honestly, because you could enter the corner the same way 3 different laps, and it would do something different all 3 laps. And I knew better that the bottom was better in 3 and 4 than it was in 1 and 2. And for some reason, I kept deciding to make my move in 1 and 2, and it bit me the last time I did it. I don't know how I saved that truck. I don't know how nobody hit me, but I'm glad they didn't.
I should say that I was watching that save
scare.
like, oh my gosh, how did you hold on to that thing?
Yeah, I was full locked to the right, and I was on and off the brake and the gas, just trying to keep it going straight.
Whew. I need to take a lesson or two, that's for sure. But no, that seemed like it was pretty tough there. I guess really the only other thing that I can really think of was actually no, I just lost it. Oh my gosh. Zach, do you have anything else?
Yeah. How did you feel about the pit strategy shenanigans at the end of the race? We saw you take out the cone there one time.
Yeah, I knew the second to last one, I was going to pit no matter what. I didn't care what they did. I was pitting. That last one, I was kind of strategizing, keeping on the left side of Dunn so that I would know if he was going to come to pit because he'd have to come all the way down. I didn't really care what Nick did. I was more worried about Dunn because I knew Dunn would clear him and I'd have to worry about him. I was more worried about Dunn, and once I knew that he was staying up top and wasn't going to pit, I just pulled back out and just tried to figure out what I was going to do to get ahead of him before turn 1.
Hey, that's that it worked out ultimately at the end of the day. But yeah, it's always just such a wild card when it comes to knowing what to do there at the end of those things. You ended up 3 wide there for the lead, which was pretty cool. But hey, it results in yet another win. You are piling up wins at this point now for the season. So, and yeah, you got a 5-point advantage now heading into these final 3 races. Got to ask you, even with Coke in there with the wild card race, how are you feeling with these final 3 races and your championship chances?
Honestly, if there wasn't a super speedway, I'd be feeling a lot better. But knowing that there's a super speedway and my track record on those, I don't feel great about it because I really needed Nick to not finish second, and he finished second. So that sucked. And even then, going into 3 on that final turn, I knew Dunn was on my inside. I knew he was going to go to the bottom. I had to drive through the middle to cut his line off. But in the middle of the corner, when my spotter says, "Hey, you're 3 wide," I was like, "Oh, somebody threw it in on the top. That sucks." Next thing I know, Blake is driving in from the bottom across the track, and my life flashed before my eyes because I thought I was going to be backwards coming across the line.
Yeah, everyone was going for it there, that's for sure. But the momentum played out in your favor there, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins now for you on the season. And yeah, with 3 races to go here, we'll definitely be keeping an eye to see how it shakes out between you, Nick, and Dunn at this point. But hey, best of luck going forward here. Of course, you know the deal with getting up here. Closing thoughts are yours.
Real quick, speaking of Blake, funny how last week Jack ran him over to bring out to cause the green-white checkered, I believe it was, and then this week Blake almost took him out there right at the end off of turn 4, trying to get in line behind him, and took out himself and Dunn instead. So just a little,
I would have understood. I would have been okay with it.
You would have been okay with it.
I would have understood. Also, that keeps my streak going. The only race this season I haven't finished first or second is Indy, and that's because of I spent on pit road. Every other race I finished first or second.
And that's it.
Man,
yeah.
who are you,
driver
right Malin, there. Bro? What's going on here?
No, he's got Zach Rogers' syndrome going.
I just really like the trucks, apparently. Apparently. The only thing that I actually did what Roger suggested was the trying to dive it off into 1 and 2, and then I almost wrecked. And I was like, well, I'm not listening to him anymore.
I was like, you must have turned too hard or listened too
I did.
much.
I decided to go in too late, and as soon as I turned, I was like, yep, we're spinning. It's over.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, hey, you managed to hold on to it, and it all worked out.
It would have been a classic case of do what I say, but not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that. Just don't listen to Zach Rogers. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Shout-outs are yours, my man.
Just shout out to Fortnite Squad for a good truck. Department of Defense, DuPont for being on the truck, and Dunlap for somehow, once again, dominating the entire race and giving it up to me at the end. I really appreciate it. I'm sure I'll eat those words and he'll make the greatest comeback of all time and win the championship. But for now, that's standing.
I guess he's making it up to you after Simmons Plains. But
God, I don't want to remember that race.
Well, great win tonight, man. And yeah, we'll see what happens for these final 3 races. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks for hosting.
Yeah, man.
User disconnected from your channel.
Oh my. Well, apologies. So that is I believe that is now the second time this season that an interview had an F-bomb in it, but hey,
was it the same person, or are we talking different people?
It is 2 different people.
Okay, well, at least it wasn't the same person again, because then I would probably say no more interviews for a few weeks.
Yeah, no more for you. I will out who it was. It was Cody Lamas. I can't tell you which race.
What?
It
Cody
was
Lamas.
It was Cody.
No. No, come on, Cody. What?
I don't remember which race, but yeah,
well, something
I just
bad must have happened to get Cody to swear during an interview.
It may have been Lowe's, I'm not sure, but Hey, it's hey, you got some outspoken guys there, and hey, we're just having fun. It's all live, but obviously, to anyone who is watching this, whoever does get an interview on this channel, along with any other broadcaster, please try to avoid doing that. Just out of common courtesy, because you never know who will be watching these. So,
I mean, heck, even I get heated up sometimes, and I've never sweared in an interview before.
I'll believe that when I see it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on!
Nah, you've mellowed out, kinda. So, kinda.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
You're getting
Just
there.
give it time. It's like a nice fine whiskey. It gets better with age. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're out. As I'll go ahead and let you give some closing thoughts. As I have a foot cramp. Ouch.
Oof. Well, it was another great week of racing here in the NNSCRA Winter Truck Series. 2 straight weeks, great finishes. Not all of our drivers might have enjoyed the track product, but it made for an entertaining race to a degree. I would say I agree. I wish there was maybe tiny bit more grip to the middle and to the bottom. I think top still would have been the way to go to save your tires. So even if there was a tiny bit more grip to the bottom and the middle, not too much, probably just like 1%, like literally 100th on the track I to the bottom, and maybe a tenth, or not a tenth, 100th and a half to the concrete in the middle. And I think you might have something really nice. Otherwise, I think tire wear was great and all that good stuff. And yeah, Coke Zero next week is going to be wild. I believe I am off for that one. But I think you're going to have a ton of fun anyway.
No, we'll have a good time with it for sure. I'm hoping to maybe get my boy Josh Chu back into it for that one. Or who knows? Maybe that actually might be a good night for a 3-man booth.
I
We'll have
mean,
to
I
see.
don't. We're still 2 weeks out from Bomb Squad Daytona, so they're actually not on the same week. I think we thought they were 2
Yeah,
nights ago, but they
I got
are not.
confused.
They are on different nights, different
Yeah.
weeks, not different nights.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're on different nights. We wouldn't be doing both. But yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have some good fun with that. Yeah, that will actually be 2 days after the Myrtle Beach race for these guys, the penultimate race for the Winter Truck Series on February 11th. Of course, we got to get through Coca-Cola first, and yeah, of course, we'll kind of see what we do for the booth on that one. Maybe we'll have a little more fun with it before we get serious for the final 2 races. Of course, yeah, looking forward to bringing Bomb Squad to everybody. And yeah, just going forward, looking forward to what the channel holds, what the future holds. Things are definitely growing here a little bit. I will also say, of course, yep, go subscribe to Bulldog Speed, Mimniq there on YouTube, AG the channel. Go subscribe to that guy. And check out the Top Dragster Open, which will be happening on the 14th of February. I need to find time to record that here pretty soon. That's an offline race. And speaking of Coca-Cola, I'll probably bring this up a little bit more when that time comes, but go check out the 2024 Thanksgiving 500 over on AG, the channel. I will forever advertise that race as one of the best offline races I've ever called in my life. And AG, Alex, the best at calling offline races in the world. Don't at me. It's a fact. Anyways. Offline races, remember that.
Well, I can't really have an opinion. I never really got into AG's content, but I'll take your word for it. I know he does a great job, so.
Zach, as soon as you get out of here or when you have free time, go watch that Thanksgiving 500. Everyone else do it too. You will be thoroughly entertained by the product of that race and the commentary and just how much fun we were having. Because yes, I was in the booth for that too. Along with Caleb Rose. Caleb Rose, yeah, shout out to him too. Great guy. Who helps with AG's content. And And yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Enough of me blabbing. Great race by everyone tonight. That was a lot of fun to watch, even if the racing was maybe a little grueling for a lot of them, but it was certainly a lot of fun. Thank you again, Zach, for joining me, and yeah, we'll see you all in a week's time for the wild card night that is the Coke Super Speedway. Until then, everyone stay safe. Take care.